Let's have a little birthday edition because I found I have a birthday twin, and it's someone who I've already painted. This is Margaret Keane. Of all the people, I get Margaret Keane. She was also born on September 15th, which is obviously the most important day of the year for me. Maybe nobody else, but for me it's the most important day because I wouldn't exist and neither would she. So, if you don't know about Margaret Keane, there was a movie made about her that Tim Burton directed a couple of years ago, probably more than a couple of years now, but Amy Adams plays her role and it's very, very good. But I'll probably be giving away the story in this little video, so I'm sorry for the spoilers. Margaret Keane, okay. Where do I start? She had a bit of a scandalous story around her, although she was a very sweet, codependent, timid, and talented lady. She was a single mother when she met her husband, Walter Keane, who was also a painter. He'd gone to art school in Paris, but he wasn't selling any art, and from what I understand, he wasn't a very good painter. Just his work didn't resonate with people at all. But she was painting these paintings of children with really big eyes. They're very, very sad. This is just one example. This one, it looks like they're a bit homeless in an alley. This waif-like kids crying. Sometimes they were dressed like ballerinas and harlequins. It's very kitschy sort of art. But you probably, if you're of a certain age, you may recognize this kind of style from like the 60s and 70s. Here's one that she made of the actress Joan Crawford. I actually really love this. It does have sort of almost an El Greco feel to it, even though it has that sort of cheesy 70s vibe to it as well. So it's kind of perfect, actually. But her work was mass-produced in cards and posters. It was everywhere for a time. Now, the story behind it is that her husband, Walter, when they were married, he put his name, he put their name, Keane, as the signature on the paintings. And after about 2 years of marriage, here she is again, she realized that he was selling her work under his name. And when she told him about this, she said that she knew it. He said, well, we can't tell anyone now because, first of all, we're making an income. And second, it would be fraudulent and you and I will both lose all of this. So she agreed. She agreed to keep making paintings. He was not a very good husband. Not only was he lying and fraudulent and a con man, but he was a womanizer and he was an alcoholic and an abuser. So she was painting her paintings all the time, just trapped away in the studio where she couldn't let anyone know that she was the artist. In fact, her own daughter, she was trying to hide from her own daughter, so that her daughter wouldn't tell. There was a lot of gaslighting going on in that terrible relationship. But he was an excellent salesman, very, very charming, great storyteller, and he managed to make them a fortune, having everything mass-produced. Eventually, she left. Eventually, she ran away with her daughter to Hawaii and didn't let anyone know until later on. She mentioned in a radio interview that she was actually the artist. And the word got out, there was a bit of a scandal, and Walter, her husband, still denied this and sued her for defamation. And they had to go to court where there was a paint-off. It was supposed to be a paint-off where they could see who was the real artist. And she managed to, of course, paint it. Well, she was not the artist, she didn't manage to. She painted the painting in less than an hour, clearly the same style. She'd painted so many in all those years. And he still denied it though. He said he had a shoulder injury and couldn't paint that day. So the court gave her $4 million, which actually was already spent because he squandered it already. So she didn't get anything, but she got her name back. And after that, she was able to paint on her own with her name. And she's still alive. There's still a gallery that in her name that represents her work. And actually her later work I think is really, really cool. So you might want to check her out. It's Margaret Keane, spelled Keane, and we can wish her a happy birthday.